Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday to you all, and I'm so glad you're here with us. Um, I've had a few technical difficulties this morning. That's why I didn't start chatting until about 5 minutes ago. So I just want to say this so that you know for this class, in case it happens, or any class in the future, if we go down at any point or sound stops working or whatever, go to that our live page, the link that we give out for all our classes. It's linked on our website, and just refresh, and we will go live there again if anything happens. Okay, so if there's ever a moment where we go down, just refresh until it's back up. It'll take me probably a minute. All right, but I think we're good for now. I'm Mikki. If you've not been here with us before or with me before, this is Shanti. She's having a very sleepy Saturday morning. This is Musketeer. Fur children are here. I don't know for how long, but here they are. So I hope your fur children have joined you as well. And I'm just really, really glad to have you here. Looks like Karen's here with us. Good morning, Karen. If at any point, Shanti's like, I said hi, I'm going back to bed. I understand, Shanti. Really, really glad to have you all here with us today. This practice is always, especially our Saturday morning practices, is a really beautiful invitation for you to give yourself exactly what you need at the end of your week, whatever this week held for you. Nothing more and nothing less, right? So leave the things you don't need today, add in some things if I'm not giving you enough, and just build a practice for yourself that meets you where you're at and gives you what you need to really settle into your weekend. So glad you're here with us. If you have a block or two in your arsenal of yoga tools, I would grab those. And I am probably going to suggest, not probably, I am going to suggest Shavasana burrito Shavasana at the end. So if you have a really lovely fluffy blanket somewhere in your life, I would go ahead and grab that as well. So this morning for our practice, I'm going to recommend sitting on a block if you have it, with the legs tucked back. Now, if you don't have a block, you could just sit on the heels. Boom. Okay, if you do have that block, it could go between your heels on any height that works for your knees and for your hips. And if this is just small amounts of torture for you, then I'm going to invite you instead to take a cross-legged seat. But if you've not tried the seat before, maybe just give it a little exploration. It's a different way to ground into our practice. The tops of the feet are pressing into the ground, and we do our best to get the pinky and the big toes to press. So you might even kind of reach back and pet your cat and then kind of ground those feet a bit. You want your knees to be hip width, and if you can kind of see where the line of your thigh bone goes, that's where you want the knees. Okay, and then stop thinking about it so much and just settle in. Let's put the hands on the thighs. And again, if you are really uncomfortable here, some people's knees just don't bend like this, then come to crisscross applesauce instead. Let's begin to settle into the seat this morning. Feel your spine begin to stack as though there's a wall right behind shoulders and head. Let that head begin to lift and gently press back. Let the shoulder tips begin to move back. And then let's take a big inhale here. Fill up. And open your mouth and let it go. Let's do that one more time. Big inhale, fill up. Open your mouth, let it go. And then let's begin to take that breath steadily in and out through the nose. And to help us ground into the breath this morning, I want you just to very silently to yourself as you breathe in, say in. As you breathe out, silently to yourself, say out. Really simple. You can customize that for yourself. It could be inhale, exhale. It could be breathe in, breathe out. Expand, contract, whatever word makes sense for you. In and out is just really simple. But let's put a really silent, kind of verbal presence to the breath. And staying with that, just really deep down in your spine, right? So it's going to be almost not visible. It's going to be super subtle. As you inhale, let that low belly fill. And you might even feel yourself rock a little bit onto the front of the sit bones, kind of like a very subtle cow shape. And as you exhale, I want you to feel that low belly empty. You might rock onto the back of the sit bones just a bit, and there might be a tiny little bit of a tuck. Really subtle. So if somebody were sitting next to you, they might not even be able to see this. Inviting some subtle life back into your pelvis that tends to get really stuck as we sit throughout the week. And just let that be a really natural expression of the breath. Okay, so a few rounds here, continuing to say that word you've chosen, right? So in, out, connecting that way with the breath, and also allowing this kind of subtle connection in that low back, where the breath is free to just flow in and out. In and out. Now we're going to take this subtle movement that we've been creating and make it a little bit less subtle. So as you inhale, we're going to let the belly fill forward, the shoulders pull back, those arms reach wide. And then as you exhale, we're going to let that low back tuck, the spine round. We're going to wrap your arms into a big hug. Hug. Hi, self. Inhale, open, let that belly expand forward. Exhale, wrap and hug. Inhale. Each time you hug, let the opposite arm wrap on top. And then let's open one more time. Let those arms reach back. It's just a little Titanic moment. And then take those arms up overhead. Let your spine return to more of a stacked shape. Let those palms press together overhead and exhale, hands right on down into your heart. We're going to come up off of that block or heels if you're on it. If you've got your legs crisscrossed, let's swing them around. So you've got this sort of table shape happening here. We're going to let your big toes come together. You're going to push your cat off your mat. It's the new Dr. Seuss book, Cat on the Mat. All right, knees wide, big toes together, forehead to the ground. Let's find your child's pose. As you find that child's pose this morning, let's pop up onto your fingertips and just press the floor away with your hands so that you push a little bit of extra weight back into your hips. And let's take a really full breath into the sides of the waist. As you exhale, let the hips get a little heavier toward the heels. We're just going to take your two hands. We're going to start to walk them over to the right, letting that upper body come into a bit of an arch, a side bend there. Let the forehead come back down. And you can either stay on fingertips if you'd like, or you can flatten the palms. We are here for just a couple breaths. You can continue throughout practice this morning if it's helpful to you to use that word or those words, that couplet of words you've established. Again, maybe it's in and out. If and when it's no longer serving you, then just let it go and let the breath be easy and steady on its own. I'm going to come back through center. We're going to walk those hands over to the left. Same shape, other side. Forehead comes down. Again, you can be flat palmed or fingertipped. Let the weight continue to press back towards your heels. Feel that breath in the right waist. And then come on back to center. And let's rise up into table. Let that back flatten out. Let those knees get right below your hips. Are you just sitting there watching me? Creeper. All right, inhale. Belly down. Head and heart up. That was me talking to my cat, not you guys. Exhale. Round the spine. Cat pose. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. So sort of as we were starting this morning seated and we were focusing on that really subtle movement of the low back, my invitation to you through the poses and the movement this morning is to pay attention to the subtle details. So there's sort of this external movement. It's kind of, I hate to use the word superficial, but the less deep, the less subtle movement and actions that happen in our practice. And then there's those little tiny subtle experiences within. And hopefully part of this practice is taking our mind and shifting it from sort of that external action-oriented place that we spend most of the week and beginning to feel, connect to, and notice those details again. So one more round of breath here. And then we're going to find your table pose as you inhale this next time. Tuck your toes under, hover those knees just an inch off the ground. I can't see you, so if you're like, I don't want to hover my knees, don't hover your knees. But what I want you to do here with knees hovering or not hovering is to take the breath deep into that low back again. And can you feel, without the whole spine moving, can you just feel that really subtle kind of expansion of low belly as you breathe in, just the slightest suggestion of cow? And that drawing in of the belly as you breathe out, that slightest suggestion of cat. Again, there might be a little visible movement, but really, unless you're looking closely, it's more inward than it is outward. Let's take one more breath here. And we're going to float those knees back down to the ground if they're lifted. Go ahead and untuck your toes. Let's take your right hand up to the sky. Big reach up. And then as you exhale, we're going to sweep that right arm under the left, tap the ground. I'm not going to lay down, just tap. And inhale, sweep right back up. Two more. Exhale, reach under, tap. Inhale, reach up. And the last one, tap. And reach up. Then we'll put that right hand down back into your table. Long, long spine. Other side, left hand goes up and reaches under. Two more, up and under. And one more time, up and under. And we'll bring that left hand back under the left shoulder. Tuck your toes under. Make sure your hands are positioned in such a way that you can get weight into all of the knuckles, right? So we tend to kind of roll to the heels of the hands and the pinky finger. I want you to press that entire palm down. Tuck your toes under, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. As you find that down dog, you might pedal the legs a little bit. You might wag your tail. You might kick your dog fur off your mat. Let your head hang heavily between your arms. And then let's start to roll up onto the balls of your feet towards the tippy toes. We're going to walk, tippy toe your feet toward your hands. Take your time. Let's put a generous bend in your knees and allow yourself to just completely fold. Let that head release, let those arms dangle. And then bending the knees a little bit more, we're going to start to roll little by little by little, all the way up to standing. Letting the bones of your body stack upon one another. Taking the hands up to the sky, rooting down through the feet as you reach up through the hands. And then let's press those palms together overhead. Hands are going to slowly come down into your heart as your heart lifts to meet the thumbs. Breathing in, breathing out. Let's begin to move a little bit more this morning. Inhale, hands go up toward the sky. And exhale, bending those knees. Let's fold over those legs. We'll start with a couple half sun salutations because I don't know about you, but here it's sunny. Inhale, halfway lift, fingers slide up those shins. And then exhale, let's fold. Rooting down into those feet. We will rise up, reach up, hands go up to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart, heart to thumbs. One more time, just like that. Inhale, let's reach. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, breathing in. Exhale, folding forward. Slowing down or speeding up at any point. Inhale, root into those feet, rise up, reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. Okay, we'll start the same way, then we'll add on. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, we fold. Halfway lift as you breathe in. And then exhale, fold forward. Let's step your left leg back. As you step that left leg back, we're going to put that back knee down on the floor. We're going to rise up into your low lunge. If your knee's a little unhappy with that, fold your mat over or grab that puffy blanket you got for your Shavasana and put it under that back knee. So as you come up, I want you to scissor those legs just a bit, press that right heel down, pull back, push the left knee down, pull forward. So instead of kind of laying into your lunge, you're a little bit more stacked. And then we're going to bend your elbows and put your fingertips on your shoulders. So just like Anna Green Gables in her puffy sleeves. Let's inhale out through those elbow tips. And exhale, just a little gathering, the little drawing of your shoulder blades toward each other on the back. Now, from deep in your waist, we're going to begin to turn toward that right leg. And I want you to try not to pull that right elbow back. It's not arms, it's not shoulders, it's waist. Inhaling deeply into that low belly. Allow there to be that tiny sense of that pelvis tipping forward just a bit, right? That subtle movement. As you exhale, feel that low belly hollow. And then we'll untwist. Release your two hands down to the floor. Lift that back knee off the ground and let's step it back. Downward facing dog. You can stay here, right here today. You could drop into child's pose if you'd prefer. If you want to keep moving, let's come forward, plank pose, inhale. Put your knees down on the ground for at least this first one. Elbows point straight back as you lower to the belly. On the ground, go ahead and untuck your toes. We're going to inhale just enough of lift of shoulders and head that your hands aren't needed. And we're going to also float your feet. So it's half, bottom half is locust, top half is cobra. And then exhale, forehead down, feet down. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, cobra locust hybrid. It's like something out of a fantasy novel. Exhale, lower down. And one more, inhale. And exhale. Pressing into hands and knees. We're going to come up through table. Tuck those toes, downward facing dog. From your down dog, let's take that left leg, lift it up toward the ceiling, any amount. And we'll step your foot forward between your hands. Ground that back knee. Come on up into that low lunge. Again, it's a little less, it's the no fun low lunge. So instead of the party lunge where you just kind of lounge in, scissor those legs a little bit, get nice and stacked and upright. Bend your elbows, hands to shoulders, puffy sleeves. And then from your waist, let's start to rotate toward that left leg. Try not to crank it back at all, just a little waist rotation. Big inhale, let that low belly fill. Full, complete exhale, feel that low belly hollow. And then we'll untwist. Go ahead and reach your hands to the sky and then take them down around that front foot. Tuck your back toes under, lift the knee. We're going to step the right foot forward to meet the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knee. Let's sit on up into your chair pose. Feel those heels push down into the floor and pull back like you're trying to scoot your feet back in space. And then inhale, straighten those legs, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart, heart to thumbs. Breathing in. And breathing out. Inhale, hands lift. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, we'll fold and we'll step that right leg back. We're going to keep that back knee off the ground, this time, unless you want to drop it. We'll come on up to your crescent lunge. Make sure those back toes are pointing forward. And even though that back knee is off the ground, we're going to put a little bend into it and then straighten. We're going to do that 2 more times. Bend and straighten. Trying to minimize how much the rest of the body is bobbing up and down and moving. Bend and straighten. Now, let's bend one more time. Put your puffy sleeves on. And then from around your waist, as you exhale, we're going to turn toward the left. And then inhale, untwist. 2 more times. Exhale, rotate toward the left. Same direction of twist. Inhale, untwist. 1 more time. And untwist. Now as you exhale, let's come into that rotation 1 more time. We're going to pause and linger. Stay here or let that back leg straighten. 1 more breath. Notice if that left elbow is trying to pull you back. And then go ahead and untwist. Hands to the floor. Back you go. Downward facing dog. Again, that invitation to stay or to take child's pose. If you want to keep moving, inhale, plank. Knees up or down. We're coming all the way down to the belly. We're going to take that same hybrid pose 3 times with the breath. So inhale, baby cobra in the heart and chest, locust in those legs. And then exhale, lower. So it's an entire back body activation. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more time, lift. And lower. And then tuck those toes under. We'll press up through table or plank if you're feeling fiery this morning. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts as you're ready. And right foot forward between your hands. Coming on up into that crescent lunge. My mic pack is pulling my pants down. I'll spare you guys that. All right, as you come on up, hands to the sky. Keep that back foot turned in so that the ball of the foot is on the ground, heels straight back, right? So you don't have it angled as you're bending the knee, it's straight. Exhale, bend that back knee. Inhale, straighten. 2 more times, bend. Really isolating that movement into the back leg and straighten. 1 more time. Now we're going to bend that knee again, and we're going to keep it bent. Put your puffy sleeves on. From around your waist, exhale, turn toward the right. And inhale, come back to neutral. 2 more. Exhale, turn. Notice how the shoulders and the elbows want to help you. Inhale. 1 more time, twisting. And untwisting. And then we're going to come into that rotation. Stay. Maybe straighten that back leg. Keep lunging into your front leg. And then untwist. Let those 2 hands come up to the sky. And hands come down around your front foot. We'll step that left foot next to your right. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Come on up into your chair. Hands could be at heart or hands to the sky. You're here for 2 full breaths. And then let those legs straighten and bring your hands to your heart. Breathing in. Breathing out. You're going to bend your knees down into that chair pose again. Keep your hands at your heart. We're going to take your right hand to your right hip. Left hand across to the outer right knee. Just push the back of the hand into the outer leg. Resist the leg into the outer hand. Use those rotational muscles that we've been awakening to start to roll that heart open toward the right side of your mat. Some of you are going to stay right here. Some of you start to slide that arm further down. Up to you how low you go. Keep that left hip moving back in space so that knee doesn't jut forward. And then if you would like, let's take that right elbow, begin to bend it up toward the ceiling and reach that right hand up toward the sky. 1 more full breath here. Those of you that are feeling like you want the challenge this morning, as we come through center, you're going to keep your knees bent as you bring your hands to your heart. Those of you who are like, nope, I'm good. You're going to straighten those legs. Give them a little moment. And then back down we go. Left hand, left hip. Right hand across. Right hand's going to push into that outer left knee. Left knee's going to resist back into it. You can stay here using those muscles around the waist to keep rolling the heart open. Or maybe you start to slide down deeper. Maybe that left elbow begins to pull up toward the sky, and then take that left hand up toward the ceiling. Has your mind gone to the really outward kind of body, tissue, muscle movement elements? Can you continue to feel those subtle details of the breath, those internal details? And then back to center you go. And let's straighten those legs. Shifting into that right foot, let's start to bring your left knee up, toward your chest. Turn that left knee out toward the left, and let's place that foot for tree pose, thigh, calf, or kickstand on the ankle. And then let's take your arms straight out to the side. If that works, if you want to keep your hands at heart instead, go for that. This shows how much I'm wobbling this morning. I want you to press those palms out like you're pushing the hands into 2 walls, or you have yogi friends to high five on the other side. That day will come again. Let the heart lift. Let the crown of the head lengthen up. And then turn the palms up toward the ceiling and take your hands up to the sky. Let the eyeballs follow. Just see how that changes your balance. If you fall, the ground is right there. Just put your foot down. Hands to heart. And let that left foot come on down to the ground. Feel that shift to the left foot. Bring your right knee up. Right knee to the side. And then you're in control of where that foot goes for your tree pose. So ankle, calf, thigh, up to you. Hands can stay at heart or high five your imaginary yogi friends. Boop, boop. As those hands press out, can the base of your neck, that inner shoulder, get heavy? And then go ahead and rotate those arms, turn the palms up toward the ceiling, bring those palms together overhead. Let your eyeballs follow. And then hands come down to heart. And right foot back to the earth. 2 feet on the ground, 2 feet parallel. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, let's fold. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Exhale, we fold. Let's step your left leg back. We're going to come on up into your crescent lunge. Hands to the sky. Let's put those puffy sleeves on one more time. From around your waist, let's rotate toward the right. Without changing the rotation, take your right arm back, left arm forward, but not twisting more, just straight out from your shoulders. And then let's come back forward and open into warrior 2. So back heel comes down, right hand forward, left hand back. Straighten that front leg. Reach the right hand way forward. Let the 2 sides of your waist get really long. And let's bring that right hand down to shin, floor, or block for your triangle pose. And instead of putting weight on the hand, let's do what we just did in tree pose. So like your left hand is pushing up into somebody's hand, like your right hand is pushing down into someone's hand. Get long through those arms. And then bend your front knee. Left hand down the back leg, right hand to the sky. Reverse. And exhale, hands down around your front foot. Let's take it back into downward facing dog, where you can stay, or you can take child's pose, or just a traditional vinyasa, inhale, plank. Knees up or down, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend of your choosing. If you like that little hybrid we've established today, you can do that, or you can keep your feet grounded for cobra. Back to the belly. Up through table or plank. And downward facing dog. Big full inhale here. Full complete exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. As you inhale, bend the knees, lift the heels, look forward. Exhale, walk, step, or hop. Top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Come up to chair. As you exhale, hands come down through center, tap left elbow to right thigh. Inhale, back to chair, hands go up. Exhale, right elbow, left thigh. Inhale, reaching up. One more time each side. Left taps right. Exhale. Inhale, reaching. Even as we move it more dynamically, can you feel that deep internal work of the rotation? Inhale, hands up, and exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, we'll fold, step your right leg back. Coming up, crescent lunge. puffy sleeves. As you exhale, rotate toward the left. Wherever you stop, just reach those arms out from the shoulders and try not to change it. So likely that right arm is going to be kind of reaching off to the right somewhere. And we'll come through center. Just keep those arms wide if you can. Open it up, warrior two. Right heel down, right hand back, left hand forward. We'll straighten your front leg when you're ready. Begin to hinge from that left hip. So feeling that difference between hinging at the waist and hinging at the hips. Take that left hand forward, get long through the two sides of your waist, and then let that left hand come down, ideally with no weight if you can. So push that palm down as though you're pushing into a hand, push that right palm up, get broad through those arms. Glide the shoulders down the back from the base of the neck. And then we'll bend that front knee, come up, reverse warrior, right hand down the back leg, left hand up and back. And then hands come down around your front foot. Doesn't need to be graceful, just find a way, downward facing dog. Again, maybe the invitation in this moment for you is to stay, or if you want to keep moving, plank. Knees up or down, chaturanga. Back bend as you breathe in. Back to the belly as you breathe out. Up through table or plank. And downward facing dog. Breathing in. Breathing out. In. Out. Bending your knees, lift the heels, look forward. Exhale, walk, step, or hop. Halfway lift. And fold. Bend your knees, chair pose. As you exhale, right elbow taps left thigh. We're back here. Inhale, sit up, reach up. Left elbow, right thigh. Inhale. Right to left. Inhale. Left to right. Chair. We'll fold as you exhale, hips high, head down. Inhale, halfway lift. It's going to start very similar, but we'll add on a little bit. So exhale, fold, right foot is staying, left leg steps back. If you can hear Shanti, I'm very sorry. I think we have a delivery. Come on up into our crescent lunge. It's a little different. Hands to heart. Let's lean forward. Around your waist, rotate. Left elbow down, right elbow up. Maybe you tap the elbow. Maybe you stay hovering. And then let's come up through your crescent. Hands go up. And we'll open into warrior two. I love when Musketeer puts himself right in front of the camera. Straighten that front leg. Reach the right hand forward. Triangle pose. Just one full breath. Get in. Get expansive across the arms, across the legs. And then as you inhale, we're going to bend the front knee, come into that reverse shape. And then exhale, hands come down around your front foot. Lift that back heel. And let's step left foot forward to meet the right. Bend your knees, come on up into your chair pose. We're going to shift into that right foot, come up to standing with your left knee into the chest. Put those puffy sleeves on one more time. And we're going to rotate around your waist toward that left leg. Give that left leg some purpose, like the foot stepping down into something. Feel the spine stack from your right heel all the way up through the crown of the head. And then go ahead and untwist. Step that left leg all the way back. Go ahead and put your heel on the floor. Warrior one legs. We're going to drop your hands back behind you, clasping thumbs or all of the fingers. Knuckles toward the ground, heart toward the sky. Let's root into that back leg. You can stay here if you'd like, or begin to fold forward toward your humble warrior. 2 full breaths wherever you're at. If you're folding, let that head go. And then from wherever you're at, we'll let your hands come down around your front foot. Back heel lifts, and back you go. Downward facing dog. You know the drill. Be still or come forward, plank. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, back to the belly. Up through table or plank. And downward facing dog. Breathing in. Breathing out. Bend your knees. Look forward. Exhale, walk, step, or hop. Halfway lift. And fold. Sit on up, chair pose. Just one round here. Left elbow taps right. Inhale, reach up. Right elbow taps left. Inhale, back up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Continue to seek that awareness of the subtle details. Folding. Right foot steps back. Come on up into that crescent lunge. Hands to heart, lean forward. Rotate around your waist. Right elbow down, left elbow up. Maybe it taps, maybe it doesn't. And then we'll come back through center, reach up. Ground that back heel, open, warrior two. Let that front leg elongate. Reach that left hand way forward. Come into that triangle pose. One breath. Legs are long and powerful. Arms are active and wide. Inhale, bend the front knee. Reverse. Exhale, hands come down. Come onto the ball of the foot. We step forward, feet together. Bend those knees, chair pose. Feel that transition of weight into that left foot. Come on up, right knee into the chest. Puffy sleeves. Active right leg. Rotation around your right, around your waist to the right. Wherever you land there, you can just keep the hands on shoulders. Notice how the elbows are wanting to help you. Try not to change the twist and open those arms straight out from the shoulder. Come on back to puffy sleeves, untwist. Step your right leg back. Ground that back heel, warrior one legs. Pull those hands back behind you, clasping thumbs or all the fingers opposite thumb on top if you can remember. Heart high, shoulders back. You're welcome to stay here or bow forward into your humble warrior. 2 breaths. Let that head go if you're folded. Hands release down around your front foot from wherever you're at. And final vinyasa this morning. Take it back. Down dog or child's pose if you would prefer. Go through the vinyasa if that's comfortable. And we will meet up in your downward facing dog. In, out. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more time. Bend your knees, lift your heels, look forward, walk, step, or hop. We're going to come through that chair pose, down through your squat. You might pause and linger for a moment, and then ultimately down to the floor. As you come down to the ground, soles of the feet together, knees open, ankles or shins, hold on, sit tall. Can you return to that really subtle expression of the breath in the low back? What happens? Where do the sit bones move or shift as you breathe in? Can there be that much freedom in your low back that there's a sense of kind of rock, like waves, like an ebb and a flow to the spine as you breathe? Where do the sit bones shift, move as you breathe out? One more breath here. Let's keep your right leg bent in as it is. You're going to take your left leg out to straight. Let that right foot come to the inner left thigh or knee or calf. Little rotation toward that left leg. Let's take your two hands up to the sky. And then instead of just rounding and reaching, let's think up and over as you start to lengthen over that left leg, as though somebody's pulling your hands. And when you feel like you've gotten to the extent of that fold, hands just come on down to the ground. Keep that length. Maybe the eyes close, and let's return to that breath. If you're still using the words of in and out or whatever you've established, let that return for a couple rounds. Maybe it's enough just to feel your breath move in and out. Right, these are all tools that help us to connect and help to ground the crazy monkey mind into the moment. If a tool works for you, add it to your toolbox. If it doesn't, it's not you, it's the tool. It doesn't work for you, just let it go. Let's ease it back on up, walking those hands in. Let's reach down underneath that left knee, help it bend, open back up into that diamond shape. Let's take a full breath or two here at symmetrical, here at neutral. And then let's do that other side. Right leg straightens. Left foot comes to inner thigh, knee, or calf. Little rotation toward that right leg. And we'll take your two hands up toward the sky. Discerning in your body the difference between rounding and reaching. No bueno for the, the low back. The difference between that and hinging at your hips. So I like to think of it as reaching up and over, as though someone is lengthening out through your hands, helping you pull there, or pulling you out, helping you lengthen through the hands. When you found your depth, hands come down. Just keep that sense of length in the spine. Hopefully part of this work as well is finding the shapes in our body and the placement of our body where breath can easily move and flow. When we start to pay attention to that, we realize how we sit while we're working is often not conducive to good breath. And then as you get more and more subtly connected and you start to sense energy flow in the body, then also trying to find those positions in the body where energy feels like it flows really freely. If that just sounds kind of woo-woo to you and you're not feeling it yet, don't worry about it. Just focus on the breath and what you're able to feel there. Hi, Musketeer. One more breath here. And then walk those hands in. Help that right knee bend. Pull it in back into your diamond shape. Sit up nice and tall. And then let's take those hands to the outer knees. Help press those legs together. Boop. Let's place those feet really firmly into the ground. Holding on to shins or back of thighs, just whatever feels natural there. Let's brace the body as we start to round back. So you're not rolling all the way to the ground. You're just kind of lingering in that halfway point there. And then pull on those legs. Bring the belly back to the thighs, heart high. 2 more times. Rounding. Feel where the weight shifts on the pelvis. Inhale, sitting up tall. One more time. And then this time we will take ourselves all the way down to the back. If you would like to Shavasana burrito Shavasana, grab that blanket, have it close by. Here we go. Come on down. And let's bring those 2 knees in to the chest. Hold on to shins or thighs. Give those legs a nice hug. Feel the subtle rock of the breath in your low back, even here. And let's open your arms into a T or a goalpost shape. Let those legs come together. And we're just going to take your legs over to the right, coming into your supine twist. If you would like to separate the legs into 2 V's or take one straight and one bent or cross a leg, feel free to take the twisting version here that feels nice. And then come on back to center. And we'll do that same thing over to the other side. And then we'll inhale back to center. Let those feet come on down to the floor, knees bent. And we're going to take your right leg, cross it over your left into that full cross, like you're sitting in a chair. Let that right leg get so heavy on that left leg that it feels like if that left leg disappeared, the right leg would just crash to the ground. Full release there. Now, ever so gradually, almost where you can't see the movement happening. I want you just to start to shift the weight in that left foot little by little to the pinky edge of the foot. Right? Really subtle, small, gradual movement. And just feel where that shifts the weight in the low back. Just allow that right leg to go along for the ride. So subtle that over time there is movement happening, but you're not really aware of it second to second. Right? It's not visible necessarily second to second. And then nice and easy, bring it back to center. Feel. And then let that right leg run cross, foot to the floor. And left leg crosses over. Full cross. Again, left leg heavy on that right leg. And just exist with this here for a moment. Really subtle, really gradual. Feel that minutia as you shift the weight toward the pinky edge of that right foot. Feel the really gradual, subtle shift on the low back. And try to allow that left leg to just go along for the ride. Easy. Back to center. And cross that left leg and let's reach those legs out to straight. If you want to add that blanket in, take a moment. You're going to have to kick your cat off of your blanket. Maybe wrapping up those legs into a little burrito. And let's come on down into your Shavasana. Subtle details make really profound differences. So noticing at first here the obvious placement of your body. And as you exist here, observing ever more subtle details of how you're holding yourself and positioning yourself in space, and what can open a little more, what could release a little more, what can soften. Take rest. Feel yourself breathing in once again. Feel yourself breathing out. In and out. As you feel ready to reawaken the body, just start really small, subtle, gentle with yourself. If you're like, I need more time here, just stay. And through those subtle movements, begin to ease yourself over to a side and slowly, easily up to a comfortable seat. And when the timing feels right, we will settle in that seat with hands at heart. Observing and noticing what you've created today through your practice. And carrying that with you today as a gift for yourself and everyone you connect with along the way. Thank you all so much for practicing together today. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you had a really lovely practice today. I hope you have an even lovelier weekend. We will go ahead and I'll make an official announcement about this so you guys have this information, but we'll go ahead and extend the deadline, let's say till the 10th. We'll give you 10 extra days because some of you were without power for 9. So we'll give 10 extra days for the February challenge. Anyone who has it in before the 28th or before the 1st, we'll give an extra entry and to win a prize. All right, so that'll be the bonus perk for those that were able to get it done. But if you weren't able, we'll extend. If you'd like to contribute for class this morning and didn't when you registered, information is in the description of class on how to donate for that via Venmo or PayPal. You're welcome, Karen. Glad that glad that your super sore muscles needed that, and I hope they continue to feel a little less sore. Gianna, thank you for being here with us. Yep, Yulia, thank you so much. Appreciate you joining us. Pam, namaste. Thank you. Thanks, Neil, for being here. Stacy, so glad when you join us. Karen Elliott, thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend. Wendy, you are enough, and thank you. I appreciate that very much, Wendy. That was actually needed today, so thank you. Zia, thank you. Musketeer, you got to thank you, buddy. Nicole, thank you so much. So a couple other things. I'm leading a 90-minute practice tomorrow morning. If you would like to join us for a longer extended practice, details are on our website. I'm also leading our Monday night practice, so join me again at 6 o'clock on Monday night. And start to look for some indoor classes rolling out in March and April. I'm going to start to get that schedule uploaded in the next few days. So thank you all so much. I hope you enjoy your weekend. Lexi, glad you were here with us. And have a good one, everyone. Until next time. Bye.